fruitful tree. Be patient. Sometimes deliberately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts us through hardship, the wisdom behind, because He loves me to go to Him. Prophet Dawood alayhi salam kept communication with God, weeping, crying, asking for things that he wanted, for his spirituality, for his community, and one after the other it was granted. Another night he comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his supplication. God reveals him, Ya Dawood, we gave you all what you wanted. You had a list? We gave you all. Why are you here again? Dawood says, Ya Rab, you gave me all, but if I don't come, then I'm missing more important that, and that is intimacy with you. Shaitan plays sometimes with our mind. We have to be very careful. Let me mention this also as well. Shaitan, and that's why we need a mentor sometimes. We need a good scholar when Shaitan is playing with our mind, to check it with a learned scholar to make sure that we are not trapped by the tricks of Shaitan. A guy for quite a long time used to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to relieve him for some issues that he had in his life, and doesn't get anywhere. Ya Rab, didn't you ud'uni astajib lakum? Call me, I grant you. How many years I've been calling you? I don't apparently get any answer. One night Shaitan comes to his dream and he says that, man, you're wasting your time. Any human for that many years you had asked, he would have some mercy on you, would have given you what you wanted. You're wasting your time. Stop it. He woke up and he said that, you know what, I think my dream is right. How many years I've been asking God, leave it. I'm not going to get up anymore. Night time asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, move on with my life. Maybe it's not meant to happen. Few nights later, this is at the time of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, he passed by Prophet Musa. Prophet Musa says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is greeting you. I'll tell you that those who have broken their relation with God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Qul salamun alaykum, I greet them first. I'm more eager. Any sinner here? God is more eager to see the sinners coming back to Him than us going to Him. I initiate salamu alaykum. Tell him come. He says, but Ya Musa, how many years I've been asking and nothing happens? Gof an Allah to labbaik mas. Was revealed to Moses, tell him that you don't get it, my friend. Allah, Allah, Allahumma, that you are blessed to be able to communicate with me, says the Lord. Not every time they can get the blessing to be awake the nights of months of Ramadan. Communicate with me. It's a blessing that I don't grant you because I know you are such a mean person. If I give you tomorrow night, you won't turn up. You are only here because of your needs. But I like intimacy with you. I like you to be with me. Dua is not only a path to our needs. Dua is also our needs. We need to always feed our souls with supplications. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, sister, brother, and I've heard this from some of the newlywed young couples. They say that, Sheikh, before marriage, I used to pray to God day and night that I wanted to get married. Ya Rab, provide me a good spouse. And now that I got married, I'm even missing my morning prayer. Allahu Akbar. God says, see, I know how you are. I know what I've created. I know if I immediately grant you, you won't turn up. I don't want to miss you. So this is also another blessing of the dua. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Quickly the third one, and inshallah we go to reading a few words of majlis. The third benefit of the dua is to keep the balance, especially if you have a status in the community. If you are someone that by the grace of God, not because we deserve it, By the grace of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has maintained your reputation, that people, they respect you. Elderly people with all respect, scholars with all respect, anyone who has a status in the community somehow, in his family somehow. Because we get a lot of respect from the community, from other humans, by the grace of God, this develops, unfortunately, sometimes an attitude that I think that I deserve it. I tend to believe that, I'm really good. Look how people talk always good about me. This is very unhealthy. The benefit of supplication is that at night, yes, I am not allowed to belittle myself in front of humans. I need to maintain my respect as well and my dignity as well. But to keep the balance, nighttime, humiliate yourself before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have you ever thought, why is it that in the wise Islam, the Islam of the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, the Imam of Jama'ah has to be either on the equal level of the ground with Ma'mumin or lower? It's mustahab to make it a little bit lower and the Imam stands lower. You know why? Because standing ahead already gives a status. To keep that balance, Islam has recommended let the Imam stand a little bit lower, physically lower. Now, supplication at night, weeping and crying at night, this is what we learn from Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. The Imam says, Allahumma la tarfa'ni fi an-nas darajatan illa hatatta indi mithlaha. Ya Allah, do not elevate me, do not give me a status in the eyes of people, even a degree at all, unless you belittle me with myself, that I belittle myself with myself. To keep the balance, otherwise I will be suffering from the disease of arrogance, kibr, and things like that. Supplication has this benefit for us. The more I belittle myself before my Creator, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more it helps me to keep that balance, which is very healthy for me. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. When we are doing supplication and dua at night, at best it is possible even namaz shab. If you are doing it at home, do it in a way that we don't disturb the family members. Somebody wants to sleep, has the right to sleep, it's a sleeping time. That's why we don't have azan for namaz shab. Tonight I want to take you to Kharabe Sham. Kharabe Sham is an expression for a ruined and a shabby accommodation, so-called accommodation. They gave to who? To the family members of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, so-called captives of Karbala. Sayyidah Zainab salamullah alayha, the granddaughter of the Prophet, the daughter of Fatima Zahra, is among them. Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, even Imam Baqir, who was only 4 years old. Imagine that they were all accommodated at the corner out of the palace of Yazid Mal'un. There is also one 4-year-old or so baby girl among them. Inshallah, I want to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in honor and respect of this Shaheeda. She became a martyr, but not by sword, Allahu Akbar, but by tongue, which is more severe. Her name, some mention her name to be Ruqayya, some Sukaina. She lost her mother right after her birth, Ishaq. So she was so attached to her father, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. You can imagine a 4-year-old girl who has lost her mother. Whole her life is her father, obviously, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Now imagine on the day of Ashura, she has also lost her father, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. From Karbala to Kufa, from Kufa to Sham, sometimes she's seen the head of her father on the top of the spear. Allahu Akbar. Look at this cruelty, barbaric attitude. When they were accommodated in Kharabe Sham, in that ruined place in Damascus, one night, imagine the scene at the corner of that place. Sayyidah Zainab salamullah alayha is quietly, she is doing her namaz shab, seated. When later on she was asked, she said, because I have no strength to stand on my feet anymore. Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam standing at the other corner offering namaz shab. There is silence in that place. Everybody is either quiet or asleep. All of a sudden they saw the baby of Hussein. Yatim Hussein woke up crying, Ya Abata, Baba was here, my father was just here, where is my father? As much as Sayyida Zainab, remember this girl has no father, no mother, so Zainab was like a mother for her. She goes to her knees and she says, my dear, your father is not here, your father is here. She says, no auntie, my dad was just here, Allah. I was just talking to him. Everybody was crying, everybody woke up, and really it became a lamentation in that kharabe. Their voice was heard by Yazid Mal'un. He said, what's happening? They told him that the daughter of Hussein is asking for her father. And that Mal'un says, well, why can't you take the head to her? Allahu Akbar. They put the holy head of Imam Hussein on a pallet, covered it with a lid, took it to Kharabe Sham and put it right in front of this 4-year-old girl. She removes the lid and looks at the head of Abu Abdullah al-Husayn. Ala la'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimeen. I didn't have the heart to continue it anymore. Ala la'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimeen. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء بجاه محمد وآل محمد وبحرمة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.